Good evening everybody and welcome to ARLTV for the final round of this iRacing Grand Prix series. My name is Andrew Woodhouse and Darren Kirk's going to be along in a moment. Just finishing his tea. So, for the last round. Oh, he's here. Hello.
Hello.
We're here at Phillip Island in Australia for the final round. And this is going to determine whether some people are going to make it into the Pro Series for next season. And just take a quick look through the grid. It's very, very close on time. Stephen Michaels just has the pole position at the moment by 100th of a second over Rocco Baroni. Yudai Narumi, who won at Sebring last week, is third. Yuho Abe is fourth, ahead of Yoni Tomola. Vasily Zaitsev is sixth. Miguel Martin is seventh, ahead of Jesper Pedersen for AR UK. João Pinho and the other AR UK driver Sam Kumo on row 5. Paul Ilbrink, who's very high up in the championship at the moment, is down in row 6 with Sam Michaels. Patrick Baldwin is 13th, Paolo Acozo is 14th. Then we've got Croonan, Spindle and Caton at the back.
Good luck, guys.
So Darren, who's your money on, mate, very quickly before the start?
I'm not sure. I've not really been up to speed with their actual racing this week, but I don't know. Maybe Stephen Michaels? Do you reckon he can get another win before the end of the season?
I think he can. Putting the safe money on the pole sitter there, Darren, I like it.
Well, you've got to. It should be a very interesting race, though.
Just about ready for the start here at Phillip Island. 40 laps of this pretty short track, 2.76 miles. And we're very soon about to get the lights. We'll see if Rocco Baroni can make a move into turn 1. Not the best starter is the Italian, as the revs rise and the lights are on. And we've got the green light here at Phillip Island. And it was a great start by Baroni. Oh, Michaels is off already, and this is going to be absolute carnage. And there's cars all over the road. And there's, it's an absolute disaster. And that'll end most people's seasons in the first corner. That's unbelievable. I don't know what happened there.
Saw a few flying cars there, but
I'm not sure who's out. Darren, can you find out who's out for me, please, mate? We've got Rocco Baroni leading down to the hairpin. Yuho Abe in second. Then we've got Zaitsev in third, and he's under a lot of pressure from Tomola. And then we've got Pedersen in fifth. This is great for AR UK with Pedersen in fifth and Kumo in seventh. We've got Spindle in sixth between them. We've got Miguel Martin. He's just in 7th place with Ilbrink in 8th, so a good start for those guys who didn't get wiped out by by Stephen Michaels. We've got Tomola all over the back of Zaitsev, Darren.
yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to find out who's was out in that. I can see off tracks from Stephen Michaels, Miguel Martin, Yudai, Jesper, Roderick, Stephen Michaels, Marcus, Sam.
Well, we can see Pedersen survived. He's in 5th place at the moment.
It looked like he came down the pit lane actually and managed to rejoin after all the carnage, but someone else is off in the background.
Kumo's in 7th. It's Paul Ilbrink. Paul Ilbrink spun.
And a few technical problems here.
He just ran wide. And ended up in the gravel. Took him a little while to recover that. So the Dutchman in trouble early on. He come round to complete lap 1 with Rocco Baroni in the lead. Perfect start for him. Awful start from... it was a bad start from Michaels anyway, Darren. And then he just got on the grass and there's no way saving it from there.
Just came barreling across and there were several cars there on their boost rolling. Just trying to bring up the ticker now so we can see...
It looks like Michaels is out and Narumi's out. Sam Michaels is out and Croonan. I think Caton might be out as well. On the way, Caton's still going, so might be Acozo that's out. And Ilbrink spun. We're only up to the hairpin. He's looking fairly controlled in this early going. Being pursued by Arbe and Zaitsev, who's showing good pace. Better pace than normal there from the Russian. Emil Spindle there. Usually in the chat section, has decided to have a go at this week. Jesper Pedersen there in 6th as well. But ARUK dream start for our boys there, Darren.
It's nice to have your cars get through the first corner carnage rather than end up losing one.
I think, you know, if Alex Simpson had been in the race, he'd have probably been hit by someone on the first lap. And we've got Sam's now got to concentrate on keeping Miguel Martin behind him.
I'm having a few issues with the overlay at the moment. It's not being very responsive, so bear with me.
Alex Simpson's actually spotting for Sam Kumo today as Pedersen lets Kumo through. Or does he? No, he doesn't. Kumo's gone a bit wide out, might allow Martin through at the hairpin. Let's get a decent exit out of there, the Finn. So it's Barone, and then Arbe, Zaitsev, Tomala and Spindle, there's the top 5. Pedersen down to 6th, Kumo 7th, Martin 8th. Then you got Pino in 9th ahead of Caton. So not the best, so a good start from Marcus Caton after starting 17th. 10th already ahead of Baldwin. And then Ilbrink, who spun, and he's got a big job on his hands to recover there, Darren, but it is a long race, 40 laps. We've got a Curzo. He was involved in a bit of a crash at Sebring as well at the start. I think he might have got away with it slightly though.
Quite a bit of dust being thrown up by a few of the cars. Looks like they're looking for the track a bit more with some of these run-offs.
Yep, I think you're right about that. And again, Roderick Croonan, who just has, well, just has terrible luck. He just can't seem to make it round the first lap. As look at Arbe now, he's right up behind Barone. Less than a second. For those new to our coverage, there's no DRS and no KERS. 2009 Spec Formula 1 car, which did have KERS, but none in iRacing as of yet. And towards turn 1, very, very fast through their long sweeping right-hander. And then difficult downhill turn 2. Very cambered, as you can see. Then you run all the way down this sweeping left-hander down towards the hairpin. There's a good overtaking chance, as we can see. There is an overtaking move made by Spindle on Tomala, so good stuff from him at the hairpin. Then you got Pedersen, Kumo and Martin. Is Pedersen holding Sam Kumo up here? It looks like he could be. We're going to see any team orders, Darren?
Well, I don't think I can I?
I'm not sure.
I'm a bystander just like you. But it'd be interesting to see, because I think if the calculations that we were making are correct, the person that Sam is competing against the most is Tormala, who's just a bit up the road in 5th.
Yeah, he is, and at the moment he's having a decent race, but we know that he's had a few issues at the starts of races.
I was surprised he made it through that.
Yeah,
he was right in that section of the pack that it must have just erupted around him rather than through him this week.
And yeah, it's, oh, the car off the track there. I think it's Croonan getting out of the way.
He's got broken front wing there.
Bindle had a look at Zaitsev into the hairpin. Wasn't going to challenge him just yet. But up front, it's getting quite close now.
What are your experiences with this track, Andrew? How do you find it for overtaking in these cars?
Well, I would say it's one of the slightly harder tracks to overtake on. Mostly because the best opportunities you've got are preceded by slow corners, and in this car, obviously, if the guy in the car in front is slightly earlier on the throttle, he's going to be quite a way away because of the acceleration. But it's very bumpy. There's some cambered corners and crests which are very difficult to navigate, and you've got to be so careful on the throttle out of corners like this. It's not this one here, the hairpin, the one after the hairpin. It's very, very difficult because it's slightly banked. If you look here on the exit, the back end really wants to just step away from you if you haven't got the car fully set up properly. And that's what these guys are having to deal with. It's a very fast track. The 2.7 miles goes very, very quickly. In the 108s at the moment, the leaders. So as you can appreciate, this race is going to fly by.
Seems to be running still quite close together, especially down to the top 8.
You've actually got the closest battle on the field is this one as Spindle tries to pull out from the slipstream of Zaitsev. He's got a little run into turn 2, but that's not an overtaking place at all. And then Tomala's just behind him, so if Sam Kumo and Jesper are fighting for these positions with Tomala, they're going to have a job on because he's got some pace, the Finn, today. As Spindle tries around the outside of the hairpin, that's not going to work. Zaitsev covers the line really well. And we've seen this often actually from Zaitsev this season, that his outright pace might not really match the front runners, but he's got good racecraft and he usually ends up in a good position at the end of it. He's doing the same again today. I'm frustrating Emil Spindle.
Seem to be able to run quite close to the back of another car, but don't seem to be able to gain on that final bit that they need to actually get up on the side.
No, and I think that the problem is that in the middle of the lap you've got quite a few medium to high speed corners. There's again very close action between these two through turn 1 and into 2. Zaitsev was a bit tight there through that one, and that might allow Spindle to get a run down into the hairpin. And well, he's had a little look before. Is he going to go for it? Oh, very nearly.
Got a run on the outside,
might have got it now. Zaitsev's got the inside. Not the fast line through that corner though, and Spindle's through into 3rd. Good pass that. And that's released him to go after the leaders because Zaitsev was holding him up quite badly, really. Half a second a lap, roughly. And you can see what's happening, Darren, behind Zaitsev. You've got Tomala, and now you've got Pedersen and Kumo. So, and Martin as well. It looks like Zaitsev might be backing Joni Tomala into a bit of trouble.
I think pit strategy is going to play a crucial part here.
Yeah, definitely will. And this is the battle for the Pro Series. This is the final race of the season. And these guys are really, they've fought hard all year. Well, I'd say all year for 12 weeks. 12 weeks in a row, 12 consecutive races. And this is the end game for these guys, if you will.
I wonder if we're going to see Zaitsev and Tomala battling for a bit. Tomala's caught right up on the back.
I think we might do. Interestingly though, is that Spindle isn't really pulling away too much from Zaitsev, so see if we can get the slipstream down the main straight. You've got Kumo and Pedersen together.
What's quite interesting is Sam and Jesper don't seem to be holding each other up too much. Just seem to be sat there in formation. It's always a lot more comforting when you know you've got your teammate behind you. You know he's not going to try anything too outrageous.
And it's good to see that Sam Kumo up there. He's well and truly on the pace with these guys. Rocco Barone's doing a 108.0. Arbe's 108.2. Then Spindle with a 108.1. Then a 0.3 for Zaitsev, a 0.4 for Tourmalet, 0.4 for Pedersen, and Kumo with a 0.2. So Kumo's the third fastest man on the track, pretty much. You got Miguel Martin, as we've got Zaitsev again having to defend. He's almost been dragged along by Spindle though, Darren.
He does seem to be the front of the train though. I think in a few laps we're going to see him drop back and hold everyone else up behind him. Just doesn't seem to have the same amount of...
Definitely defended well so far.
Yeah, it just doesn't. Seems to lack a little bit of the confidence of the other guys.
Yeah, I honestly think, you know, his pace, his ultimate pace is what lets him down. Very good driver, very clean, very consistent. But in the end, you do need the speed, and you can't teach speed. And obviously, practice will help him. I think he can be a contender in the years to come, but it's definitely got the racing part though. Definitely got the car positioning, and the actual skill in the car is impressive from him.
You've got to have your fair share of luck. I mean, looking back at the start, Sam Michaels, Stephen Michaels and Uday Narumo were the three that were taken out.
Yeah, and to be honest, I'm surprised we didn't get more retirements than what we had.
Yeah, it looked a lot more... I think Roderick Cronin was involved.
Cronin,
2 laps down.
Curzo was as well. And it wouldn't surprise me if other people had slight damage from that incident, because there were a lot of cars that made contact. Sam Kumo stalking his teammate, Darren. Is he gonna try and move soon? It's always a risky one with your teammate.
It is. I don't think they have like a direct line of communication between each other either.
No. Which could make things quite problematic in a way. Do you see that Spindle's not really getting away, is he?
No.
It's less than a second in front of Zaitsev still, and this is four or 5 laps now since he passed the Russian.
Just to see how it shapes up. We're on lap 13 out of 40 so far, so we're coming up to half distance.
Yeah, and it's a long race this, and it's 40 laps. The 40 laps go past quite quickly, but still concentration needed, especially around this track.
I'm expecting we sort of one stop for most of the drivers. I don't think anyone would try no stopping.
No, I mean, a couple of people might try it.
Might not be a bad plan if you're being caught up in the traffic.
Yeah, I mean, you can always then, it takes the pressure off you with regards to overtaking. It's Kumo. Kumo's going round the inside, which will be the outside for the hairpin. Can he brake late enough? Get round the Dane Pedersen. Oh, not quite. Had the inside, good fair racing there.
Tense moments, but good clean stuff from the guys there. So they're racing each other as well as everyone else in the field.
That's it, Pedersen in the green, the white and green car, and Sam Kumo with the black trim, the grey trim. Got Miguel Martin just behind as well. We're just hanging on in there. Marcus Caton's 4 seconds behind these guys, and then you've got Pino and Ilbrink a little bit further back. And look at, and Tourmalet now is pressuring Zaitsev. Seriously pressuring him now. Nobody making a move down the hairpin this lap.
Oh! And someone's just driven into Sam by the looks of it. Just throwing one up the inside.
Miguel Martin.
Thanks.
It was. Miguel Martin just outbreaking himself into Sam Kumo, and that could be the end of Sam Kumo's championship. That could be him done and dusted.
Quite a hit, I don't know where.
In terms of getting into the Pro Series.
Sam's dropped down to
Gutted
9th.
with that. Yeah, absolutely gutted with that. Looks like has he got damage there, Darren?
Yeah, looks like his car's wobbling. He stayed out though. He hasn't come into the pits.
Staying out, Kumo, so obviously thinks he can carry on.
Not over yet.
We're still in 9th place, but if he's got damage from that, then he could be in serious trouble. Now Marcus Caton's pressuring Miguel Martin. That leaves Pedersen now to challenge the front runners on his own. There's Croonin still bumbling round 3 laps down. But anything can happen, he can still get some points out of it there. Zaitsev's actually picked the pace up. He's only a couple of tenths a lap slower than the leaders now. Breaking the lead battle. Got Baroni in the lead and then Arbe in second. There's only 6 tenths between them. Over the line this time it's nearly 8 tenths, so it looks like Arbe's in that zone, Darren, where starting to get disrupted by the dirty air.
Losing that little bit of front downforce.
To the hairpin again. Baroni looks very, very conservative in this race. Just looks like he's trying to finish the race, trying to get the points on the board and win the championship.
Tormola's all over the back of Zaitsev at the moment.
Yeah, he is, and you would have thought it was only a matter of time, but it seems at the moment like Zaitsev's got the better of the Finn. And he's picking his pace up. But we were saying last week, just when you have to start defending, it costs you so much time, as we saw at Sebring. Jesper Pedersen's only 2.5 seconds now behind Joni Tomola. Needs to get a move on though. 108.5 for him, 108.3 for Tomola. Do we know exactly what Jesper Pedersen needs to get to the top 10?
I think Jesper's pretty much done it.
Does he need to finish the race?
I have no idea about that. It would be good to see him get in front of Tormola though. So cushions the blow for Sam a little bit.
A little bit of discussion as well on the chat about the pit entry now. It's in a very interesting position. Could be potentially quite tricky for the drivers. And you've got to get that right, otherwise you can definitely get a penalty. Got Baroni, then Arbe, then Spindle. Zaitsev in 4th, Tomola in 5th. Pedersen 6th ahead of Miguel Martin, who's got, well, Marcus Caton's now in front of Miguel Martin, so up into 7th is the American. Good stuff from him from the back of the grid. Sam Kumo still going in 9th. Not really, he's lapping quickly, Darren, so I think he might have gone away with that.
It did look more of a side-on bang, so it's more whether his suspension was broken, but if he's got away with that, then he's a very, very lucky boy, I think.
108.3 the last time round. That was only 3 tenths off the leading pace. So Sam Kumo looks undamaged, and maybe he'll go and try and get some revenge on Martin. If he's going to return the favour.
He's 20 seconds down.
It's not too bad though. Not too bad from considering what happened to him.
Yep.
And pitting is almost pitting now as well.
He's going to...
As is Sto. So we'll see now if Kumo can get out in quick time. Maybe get out in front of a cut. I don't know though, it's a very long pit lane. Putting the fuel in does take a little bit extra time than the tyres in this track. In this car, sorry, beg pardon. 2009 F1 regulations where fuel was still allowed to be put in during the race. And Kumo back out onto the track with a flash of dust. You've got Emil Spindle.
And I think Rocco's just been overtaken. The lead.
He has. Arbe's through into the lead. And we'll see how he did it. Did it coming into the last corner. So I think Baroni might have made a little mistake and Arbe got through.
He's putting the pressure on though.
Yeah, he was. As Baroni trying to get some revenge. Wheels spinning out of there crazily. You've got a titanic battle for the lead. But while we were watching the pit action, the lead changed for the first time in the race. But now can Yuho Abe keep Rocco Baroni behind him? That is the question.
Which one's going to pit first? Is this Rocco into the pits?
Rocco's in straight away. The amount of times you do that after a mistake is quite interesting.
We've also got Sidestefan in the pits.
See where he can get out. I think he might be able to just get out in front of Pino. I'm not sure. Yeah. If he can get out in front of Pino, then he'll have quite a lot of clear track in front of him. See what happens. Tyres and fuel for the Italian Baroni. I think that was Pino going through into third. So
going through turn one.
So now we've got RB leading, Tomola in second, ahead of Pino. And Baroni's now fourth because Zaitsev pitted. He's just come out ahead of Spindle. Look how much time Spindle made up, Darren.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the two CST boys here.
You know, Spindle's got a lot of speed and he's shown that in that around the pit stops. He's managed to make up quite a lot of time.
Will there be any team orders here?
Well, that's the question. And I mean, I'm not really 100% sure of the points. It's always very difficult to calculate that during the race, but we know that Rocco Baroni is fighting for the championship with Paul Lilbrink. It's going to be interesting if Spindle challenges his teammate, but Spindle's here to win the race as well.
Quite interesting to see what happens.
See what happens, see if he's got the grapefruits to pull a move on his teammate. We've got now 17 laps to go here at Phillip Island. That's the battle for fourth place. Arbe's pitted, I think, Darren, and he's come out 7 seconds ahead of these guys.
He has, yes.
So I'm not sure how he managed to do that, to be honest.
A 4.3 second pit time, so he was Rocco's was 6.1.
Maybe he had a really good entry into the pits. Don't know.
Leading the race at the moment is Tormala, who's the only guy that hasn't pitted.
Unless Abe decided not to take tyres or something like that.
Actually, Pino hasn't pitted either, he's in second.
No, it's Tormala. You'd think he would pit soon. See that very shortly.
Picking him up
You would
now.
think on lap 25. going to be a great battle for the win, though. As Baroni and Bindle battling over 4th and 5th positions. Teammates. And, well, it's going to have the upper hand here. Be very, very interesting to find out. We've got, interestingly, Darren Zaitsev's only a second or two behind these guys. So he's made up a lot of time in that round of pit stops as well.
I wonder if we're going to get into a situation where we see a train forming again.
Not sure it will be a slow train though. Baroni seems to be pulling away. And he does this often, doesn't he? After the pit stops, he decides to...
Turn it up a
the
bit.
pit stops, he really does decide to go for it, yeah. Pino pits from the 2nd position. Don't know where he's going to come out. He's probably going to come out in 6th, 7th maybe.
Tormula has pitted as well. So Abe is taking the lead with Barone 2nd and Spindle in 3rd.
Yeah, and then Tormula is not too far behind. Not too far behind Zaitsev. Patrick Baldwin's up to 6th, so I don't know what he's
he hasn't
doing
pitted.
in terms of strategy.
And Jesper in 7th, who's 12 seconds down on the lead pack.
Yeah, and then you got Caton in 8th, who hasn't pitted either, I don't think.
Yes, he has.
Okay, maybe he has. Miguel Martin in 9th, and then Sam Kumo in 10th. So Kumo's lost a position. Wonder if he had to have some damage fixed, did he, Darren?
His pit was 6.1 seconds, so it's a bit longer. He was the slowest in the pits.
Similar to the other leaders, though. Patrick Baldwin. Is he going to stop at all, do we think?
Lap times aren't looking too bad. Not quite as quick as the his fastest lap's not the quickest.
Yeah, apparently he put too much fuel in at the start, so maybe he's trying to burn some of the fuel off before he comes into the pits. You would have thought it would be close on fuel though if you put a full tank in round here. I'm guessing, Darren, that maybe Emil Spindle might just be sitting behind Baroni.
Barone's going for the championship, and I think
yeah, he is.
Makes sense just to sit behind, not give him too much pressure, but a nice little cushion.
Yeah, I would think if Spindle was smart that he would just sit there behind his teammate.
I think we've got Jesper right up in the back of Patrick. That lap car.
Yeah, indeed, and he's through. So I wonder if Baldwin just let him go there. I wonder if he's trying to go at the end. Be interesting. Not sure he can make it though.
Doesn't look like he's losing quite a bit of time. Oh, he's just getting out of the way, isn't he?
Yeah, he's losing over a second a lap to the guys at the front of the race. Pedersen's now up to 6th. Caton 7th. You got Martin in 9th and Kumo in 10th. So Kumo's only 3 seconds behind Martin. So I wonder if you can get back and maybe try and give him some of the revenge. Nice bit of his own medicine there. Not that I condone violence or anything there, Darren.
Well, it would be quite sweet to see him go through on the hairpin.
It'll be good if you can, we'll be keeping an eye on that. So meanwhile, the top 5, Yuho Abe leads by 4.3 seconds. He's really the winner out of that. But he's being caught quite dramatically, which tells me... Well, he's not being caught very dramatically at all, which tells me that I'm an idiot. He's 4.3 ahead of Baroni and then just 5.6 ahead of Spindle. So it's all to play for with 11 laps to go. You would think Arbe has it in the bag.
Patrick
But never-
has pitted at the podium. He's now
Pits
down
and
to
he'll-
12. Hasn't worked out too well for him.
No, I think that's where he was before, to be honest.
The quickest pit stop. So we've
Good behind a Curzo. Paul Lilbring's really struggling today, Darren. Down in 11th.
It's unusual to see him that far down the field.
And apart from the spin he had, I wonder if he had any damage at the start because his pace has been quite slow all the way through. We're not used to seeing that from him.
Oh, I think he's funny enough just switched and he's just gone off the track, so he is struggling out there. Can't see if his car has any damage. He's coming over.
You don't see him struggling very often, do you? Really?
No, he's definitely not a one-in with his car.
Yeah, it's possible he could have some suspension damage after the start. Who knows? He did
is
start
struggling to turn.
right. He did start 11th, right in the middle of the grid, right in the firing line.
I think we've got a bit of a battle on with Jesper and Marcus Caton.
Yep, indeed. And see if the Dane can keep the American behind him. With only 9-10 laps to go. This would be a fantastic sick place, so if you can put it all together. And now Sam Kumho are only 2.5 seconds behind Miguel Martin. That's the one I'm looking forward to. If Sam can get there.
Pedersen's
Forward to
getting
that
quite a lot of pressure in the first corner.
Yeah, he is, and gonna have to fight hard to stay in front of Caton. Always very quick. He's sliding out of that corner there, the hairpin. This is the hardest corner on the course for me. Left-hander.
Definitely
Well,
punishing those time.
Yeah, definitely, and up here as well, through Lucky Heights. That really does punish the right front.
It made a little bit of a... He got a bit sideways then, but he seems to have kept it on the track.
So difficult as well to break for the MG corner there, that tight hairpin. But now look at Kate, he's got a great run onto the straight. Might see a pass here. Into one, you've got to be brave.
By side.
Side by side into one. Oh, good. Yep. That's the line. And Caton is through. So Caton up into 6th.
And we've also got another battle going on with Zaitsev and Spindle.
97 Spindle, that's for the final spot on the podium. That Spindle's given up on trying to catch Rocco. Vasily Zaitsev, who, to be fair, has had good pace in the race. Sometimes see a slight lack of it from him, but definitely right on the money today, and he's in P4. Caton's past Pedersen for 6th. And then Martin and Kumho. Kumho's only 1.5 seconds now behind him.
That's definitely getting smaller between the two. They start their 33rd lap.
Yeah, there's only 7 to go.
17. 40 laps. Oh yeah, sorry. My overlay's playing up.
Tell you what, the guys in the spectator chat seem to have nothing better to do than to bitch about each other, which is interesting. The one doing most of the bitching was the one who crashed at the start today, so that says a bit, doesn't it? As Uabe leads by 4.2 seconds. And he's been faultless today. It's the Japanese driver. Been good for a win here at Phillip Island. And well, last race of the season. It's always a good one to take. Sends a little message. As speaking of sending a message, Vasily Zaitsev will just that if he manages to overtake Emil Spindle. Which, you know, would be considered a bit of an upset if Zaitsev was to beat him.
Closing up through all the braking zones.
He is. He went a little deep into the hairpin. That's the key, Darren, on this track. It's so difficult to get the power down and to drive consistently. Especially coming out of the slow corners. It's such a minefield. As you've got Pedersen is only half a second behind Caton, so he's not giving quite up on that position yet. Kumo has got the gap to Martin down to 1.2 seconds. He's going to get there before the end. And then we'll see. See if there's any other battles going on. It's really just the ones I've covered. Akozo and Patrick Baldwin are only 2 seconds apart. Drick Croonen's 9 lap down. I mean, I have a lot of respect for these drivers. You know, it takes so much skill to drive this well for this long.
Concentration as well.
Tricky track, yeah, exactly. The concentration is the hardest thing in this car, because one little mistake and you're in the tyre wall, and that's your race over. There are no second chances if you crash one of these, like in real life. That's what makes iRacing so good. We encourage people, if you're liking these videos, if you want to take part in something like this eventually, well, go out and get your iRacing subscription. It's only $8 a month. Works out in just about less than £8. And it's great fun. Definitely the best sim racing experience in the world, I think.
So the opportunity to progress as well, so you can find the level that suits you the best.
Exactly, and I'm not being paid to say that, that's just my opinion. After being an iRacer for nearly a year now, it's definitely one of the best decisions I've ever made. And enjoyed it a lot. Looking forward to hopefully driving this car next season as well, having a little go.
Then we're still getting quite a lot of pressure from Zaitsev.
Yeah, he is indeed. He's somewhat of a surprise.
And Tormola's catching right up in the back as well.
Yeah, we've got a spindle train now, as opposed to having a Zaitsev train earlier on. Now Sam Kumo is only 7/10 behind Martin, so he's through. Kumo's through. But we've got to turn. Oh, that was close. Kumo through into 8th place, and that's sweet revenge for the Finn, but Martin's having a look down into MG. Kumo covered the line beautifully there. Super stuff from the Finn.
Replay here.
Revenge is sweet for Sam Kumo, but he's got to cover his line now because Martin's right behind him into turn 1. Tries to sweep out of the slipstream there, but Kumo too wise for that. Good stuff by Kumo. I bet he's been stewing about that one all the race. Fantastic driving. Not quite over yet, but I think he's got the beating of him now. Go back to the front with only 3 laps to go. And Yuo Abe has been excellent today. .108.1 on the last lap, very consistent times. Barone, 108.1 as well. You've got Spindle, just half a second ahead of Zaitsev and just half a second himself ahead of Tomola. What do we think is going to happen here, Darren, in the last few laps? Do you think we're going to get any action?
I think most people would be happy to stay in the position there are, but you always want to go one better, don't you?
That's it, it's for a place on the podium.
One mistake from any of them here could provide any of them. We're here with the podium.
That's it, one twitch. That's all you need to lose a position. In any form of motor racing, but especially in these Grand Prix cars, the Williams FW31. These are the elite drivers in sim racing. Some of the best drivers in the world. They'll be looking to enter the Pro Series and the Drivers' World Championship. And he's right up his sphincter now. So he goes up the main straight. Double slipstream. Zaitsev has got the slipstream now, and there's going to be contact.
Oh, don't hit!
Contact. And Tomola. And Zaitsev's trying to come back on the track. He's not going to. He just about makes it. Tomola gets away with it. Zaitsev's off the track. That. Well.
Messy.
Yeah.
It's a very, very fast corner to try and get two cars through there. It looked like there just wasn't enough room.
Yeah, it's just too risky, I think, at this point in the race. I know it's the last lap coming up, but
Throwing away some good points there.
Well, exactly, and unfortunately for Vasily, he seems to have ruined his race. However, Zaitsev looks like he's maybe got the better of that occasion. I don't know. But Spindle's away and clean in third place. And on to start his final lap is Yuho Abe, who's been fantastic all the way through this one. Pedersen's still only 7/10 behind Caton. Still got a chance on the last lap. But I think Abe, and as well that's stupid with Tomola, because he didn't need to go for that. He's in the top 10, and he very, very nearly
ruined his own race.
He very nearly ruined his season.
Yep, as well as somebody else's.
With the one stupid move. And that is not the corner that you try to overtake on. Unless he's side by side. But anyway, regardless of that, we've got a winner here at Phillip Island. It's going to be Yuho Abe, who's starting the pitch straight. He's going to take victory here. The 40 laps, excellent driving from him. Well done, well deserved. We're only second. We've got Spindle coming through in third.
Nice win, Yuho. Congrats.
Brilliant stuff from Spindle in third. Then we've got Tomola somehow coming across the line fourth. Zaitsev in fifth. Caton, good sixth in the end with Pedersen seventh. Kumo in eighth. And he might be unsuccessful in his bid to get through to the Pro Series. We'll have to work the points out later, but he did all he could today, 8th place. Good effort. Here you go, Martin. After spinning Kumo around earlier on, gets 9th. Pino 10th. Ulbrink is going to come through in an anonymous and slightly shoddy race from him in 11th. Ball went 12th. And Nikuzo in 13th. So Darren, that was a great race.
Certainly was. Quite a lot of action there. Now I'm going to try and flip it back to the start so we can see what happened. Hopefully we get a nice cockpit.
I think we do need to get a little look at that. I think Stephen Michaels was, well, he was definitely the cause of that. Go back and have a little look from his perspective. Got it off the line all right. I don't know what he did there. He just twitched and he did recover the car. Oh, yeah, he did recover the car and just got completely and utterly smacked from behind. Managed to get it back on the track. But by then, too late. And it was Narumi, the one that hit him in the end. And I believe Miguel Martin got hit really, really hard and survived. I think Stephen Michael's car went through Miguel Martin's car, who then managed to hit. I think that was Sam Michaels. Here. Caton was off. Caton was actually off on the first lap as well, and yet somehow he managed to fight back and finish in 6th.
Who's in the Williams?
Well, the one with the red helmet was Martin.
Well, who's the one that was upside down?
Sam Michaels, I think. Sam Michaels, it was upside down. But Miguel Martin got absolutely smashed by Stephen Michaels and lived to tell the tale.
Okay, it's a replay from Sam Michaels.
Oh dear. It's going to be good.
Ooh.
He got a decent start actually, but there's nothing you could do to avoid that. He slowed down, and then when Miguel Martin came back on the track and hit Stephen Michaels, that was what sent Sam Michaels flying into the gravel. Sam Michaels went so far, Darren, he ended up going past turn 2.
Yeah.
And I think actually he was in the lead.
Yeah, he was, and he to be fair to him, gave it a good go trying to get back to the pit.
I think he thought, I'm going to get away with that. I'm going to get back in the lead, but oh dear. It was a good attempt at least trying to get back on the track, but
let's find the other main talking point of the race.
Well, there were a couple, weren't there, really? There was...
let's have a look at what happened to Sam.
Yeah, the incident there was lap 21, I believe. Sorry, lap 16.
Lap 16. Who's it that...
It was Miguel Martin that got him in the end. And it was down into the hairpin, which, you know, it's one of the only legitimate overtaking manoeuvres, overtaking places that there is on this track. And I think he thought he would try and surprise Sam there. It was definitely a... Ooh, well, to be fair to Miguel on that one, Sam didn't look like he saw him coming. And it looked like Sam could have avoided that one. I know it was from quite a way back, but I don't know. Miguel did get the car stopped. He didn't outbrake himself as how I first called it.
Look at a chopper cam of that.
I don't know, 50-50 on that one. I think Sam could have gone out of the way, but I think I think it could have been judged slightly better by Miguel, but yeah, it might have been a little bit too far back to go for it into there, but things like that happen, and we saw the move by Kumo, just a couple of laps to go, to actually get his revenge on Miguel.
The other one was Tomola on lap 37, was it?
It was 37 or 38, I think. But to me, that's such a stupid thing to do, because, you know, your participation in the Pro Series next year, riding on you getting a good finish here, and he went for the move, and to be honest, he was not close enough. He was not far enough alongside.
Right.
Because he's not seriously expecting Zaitsev to really get out of that, is he? Don't know. It looks on the face of it as if Zaitsev turned in on him, but Zaitsev was just on the line. That's the fast line through there, and it's hard racing. He doesn't want to give up his position. And nor should he either. Just clumsy from Tormala when he didn't have to. And we think Rocco Baroni has actually managed to take the championship with that win. With that second place, sorry. So I think we've got a new champion from Italy. That's terrific stuff. Been a terrific season though, Darren. I've enjoyed it.
Has been.
And have you got a driver of the day like to offer for us today?
I think Abe has to have driver of the day. He looked pretty dominating in the first section. First into the race, kept it there. Nailed it when he went in for his pits, came out in the lead and drove to the finish.
That was that, wasn't it? Yeah, he had a fantastic pit in and pit out, and I don't know how he gained so much time, but he must have really, really nailed it. And it's a perfect drive, really, from Yuho Abe.
You've got to also hand it to Rocco if he's won the championship. Brilliant second place.
Exactly, and for Paul Ilbrink as well. What a time to have a Paul race. Yeah. That's one of the few times he's ever had a Paul race this season, and well, 11th place isn't going to cut it when he's fighting for the championship. But you know, we know that he's a good driver and he'll be in the Pro Series next year. Or next season, in fact. So that's going to be great to watch. It was a good effort from Jesper Pedersen and Sam Kumo today as well, 7th and 8th for us, and really, I think Tormala very nearly gifted Sam a place in the top 10. We think he's missed out, and it's just such a shame, really.
It's a brilliant effort from all the guys anyway. I don't think they were even expecting to even be running for a pro licence, so
yeah, the guys
sure
have done
back
a
next
great season. You know, everybody in this team has worked really hard all season, and as a new team, with this is the first season's racing for Apex Racing UK, and I think it's been a great job by everybody, and especially the drivers, Jesper, Sam, Alex, and Jody as well. Done a heck of a job, and yeah, we look forward to trying to see if we can get some more success next season. We think Jesper's in the Pro Series. Sam, we don't know yet. We think he might be out of there. Alex hasn't qualified either, but I'm sure they'll be back in the iRacing Grand Prix Series next season.
Will be.
So will we, Darren, as well.
Yep, we'll be continuing doing the broadcasts for some of the racing and a few other championships, so that should be good to see as well.
Yeah, and keep your eyes peeled to ARLTV for all the latest, and we know there's some announcements soon, but can't really shed any more light on that yet. But from all of us at Phillip Island, I think it's time to say goodbye, and thanks for tuning in this season. It's been fantastic. Thank you, Darren, for helping me out tonight.
Okay.
And we'll see everybody in 2 weeks, possibly for the start of the new season.
Okay. I'll see you all soon.